Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got a fun one for you. 15 Commander cards everyone should own. These amazing staples should be in your collection. And of course, because I am the budget channel, well, these are budget cards for yourself as well. Everything less than $1, let's jump into it. And you probably guessed it. First up, there's Wayfarer's Bauble. I love you, Wayfarer's Bauble. It has been an absolutely amazing journey through Magic ever since the start of this channel. It costs 1, pay 2, tap, sacrifice. Search life for a basic land card for that card on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. This card started off as a nothing card. Nowadays, one of the most popular cards out there in Commander. It's a card that started off at 12 cents, not used at all, spiked up to like $4 or $5, and then dropped back down after Wizards finally started reprinting it. Now it's down to just 27 cents. It is an amazing ramp card for any deck out there. The king of ramp is, well, land ramp, because lands are still a protected resource in Commander, basically, so yeah, ramping in this way is safer than ramping in other ways, number one. Number two, it's a great turn 2 ramp spell. Kind of like Ramp and Growth. Again, turn 1 you play it, turn 2 you ramp, and then you're like, oh yeah, let's go. You also don't need, to fix your colors for it too. It's pretty perfect in that way. There's so many great reasons. I've literally done like many episodes on Wayfarer's Bauble. Check them out. And also pick up a lot of Wayfarer's Baubles. They're amazing. Next up, Arcane Signet, a card that Wizards themselves, well, kind of admitted that it was a mistake to actually ever make this card. An artifact 4/2 that has tap add 1 mana of any color in your creator's color identity. It is really hard to argue against utilizing this card in basically any essentially non-mono green deck, essentially, because, yeah, again, if you don't have green, you don't have access to all the best ramp when it comes to ramping with lands. Mana rocks are the next best thing, basically, and this is one of the best mana rocks out there. Soul Ring, and then this probably, really. It's just a card that essentially, again, fixes your mana, gives you, again, mana right away, doesn't come light tapped or anything like that. When it comes to the amount of mana that you expect out of a mana rock, it's half the amount of mana that you put in. It costs 2, taps for 1. You always want to ramp on turn 2 if you can. Yeah, it checks all the boxes, basically, and again, it perfectly fixes your mana based on your commander's color identity. So I guess unless you're playing colorless, pick this one up. Next up, again, when I just talked about efficiency for mana rocks, Gilded Lotus is above that efficiency on this list as well. An artifact for 5, tap add 3 mana of any one color. Again, your normal pattern would be, okay, cost 2, taps for 1, cost 4, taps for 2, cost 6, taps for 3. This one says, you know what, let's skip a step, and also I can still help you fix your mana as well, which is also amazing. Gilded Lotus is a card that also was around like $4 or $5 or so. Wizards finally started reprinting it down to less than $1, just barely, but right now, go pick it up. It is such a good mana rock for you. Again, literally can, not double up your mana on the next turn, but give you a ton of extra mana on the next turn. You go from, let's say you play this on curve, with 5 mana, next turn you drop a land, you're at 6 mana essentially, and then you have this in play, you're at 9 mana. You go from basically 5 mana in one turn to 9 mana in a turn. That is a game-changing play that can really elevate your game. Go pick it up right now. Next up, the OG ramp card, hence where the name ramp came from. Rampant Growth, a sorcery for 2 mana in green. Search life for a basic land card, put that card on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Yeah, very simple, very effective. Again, an OG card, one that essentially says, hey, this is just how it's going to go. I am going to utilize cards that get lands out. I'm going to do them efficiently and effectively. Again, we talked about that. Pay to, for a 1 extra mana kind of thing, essentially, that kind of a rate. That's absolutely amazing when it comes to lands. So yes, a very good card for a reason, a staple for a reason. Go pick up Rampant Growth. If you've never heard of it, congratulations. Now you know about it. Go pick it up and utilize it in every single green deck you have. Next up, Creepy Knight's Whisper, a sorcery for 2 mana in black. You draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. Sometimes the most simple cards in Magic are the best cards in Magic. Just literally just, hey, okay, this is like, all right, this is what you're gonna do. You're just gonna draw cards. Like, oh, yeah, I want to draw cards. Cool. Yeah, again, very simple, very effective, very simple cost. Again, just 2 mana, draw 2. That's very efficient. Sure, you lose 2 life, but again, You are in Commander, okay? That is 1/20th of your life total. That is absolutely nothing. And in fact, you're in black, you've got ways to train opponents too, you've got life swap cards, you got all these other things to like make up for your life total going down. And some decks even want their life total to go down. So yeah, being able to just go, okay, 2 mana, draw 2, very hyper efficient for you. Utilize a card like this. Again, this is one that used to never be underneath $1 at all. Nowhere near it, essentially. Wizards finally reprinted it. Go pick it up. Speaking of cards that I'm not used to being under $1, and now it's just like, oh, fantastic. Blasphemous Act. 80 cents for this gem. A sorcery for, well, 9 mana. Sure, it's 9 mana. It costs 1 less cast for each creature on the battlefield. So I guess if you ever cast it for 9 mana, I wonder what you're doing because you're casting it when there's no creatures in play. Anyways, deals 13 damage to each creature. This is one that is literally a mana, intensive card. At first, when you look at it, you're like, oh, wait, no, that is just a mana. Like, literally a mana. 1 single mana. Red, 13 damage to each creature. Destroy the entire board for just 1 mana. Again, you're playing a game of Commander. Chances are that there are going to be 8 creatures on the battlefield, essentially, especially if you really want to wipe the board. And chances are that every single creature on the battlefield has a toughness of 13 or less. Are there going to be scenarios where this doesn't take out everything? Absolutely. And those scenarios can be, when maybe your commander is like, absolutely massive or has indestructible or whatnot. Or maybe you've got like a redirect damage type of creature, like a stuffy doll. Yeah, so much fun. Well, this is a card, though, that is, again, just a staple when it comes to, hey, very cheaply wipe the board. An amazing board wipe in red. Amazing for damage-type decks as well. Pick this one up. Next up, amazing when it comes to flexibility, and amazing when it comes to budget austere command. A sorcery for 6 mana and white. Choose 2. Draw artifacts, enchantments, big creatures, small creatures, creatures with mana value 3 or less, creatures mana value 4 or greater, I should say, to be specific. Basically, you can pick and choose whatever you need. Mix and match your combinations, essentially, to get the exact combination that you need that benefits you the most. So this can be one where it's like, okay, yeah, well, I have an Enchantress deck, and I'm dominating in enchantments, and I don't want those destroyed, but, ooh, there's some big, scary creatures out there, and I don't like artifacts either, so let's get rid of those. Or, yeah, actually, I'm really good on artifacts and enchantments, but I don't like any of the creatures out there. Let's destroy all those. Or, hey, actually, you know what? I'm really good on creatures, but I don't want the artifacts or enchantments. Whatever the scenario is, it can help you out with that scenario and be very flexible to put you in the driver's seat for the game. Pick this one up and utilize it properly. Moving on, yet another card that, again, was never underneath $1 and finally is with Wizards reprinting it, Nature's Claim, an instant for just a single green mana. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, its controller gains 4 life. This is a card that it's like, again, really shows off just the importance of things in Commander. Again, in like a one-on-one game, it'd be like, yeah, I mean, destroying an artifact or enchantment is, again, really valuable, but giving someone 4 life in a one-on-one scenario, it's like, okay, yeah, you just went from 20 to 24. That's a big jump. That's like 1/5 of a life total. And again, it's in a one-on-one scenario. In Commander, it's like, okay, I just gave you 4 life. That's 1/10 of one player's life total, and there are 3 other opponents, or 3 opponents in total, right? So there's basically, I don't even know. That's like 1/30th, essentially, of what you're really caring about. And also, there's some decks that don't even care about life totals. You could take people out with poison, or you could take them out with commander damage, or again, if you're just giant alpha striking people anyways, it doesn't even matter. So yeah, just having a 1 mana instant speed, get rid of any artifact or enchantment, no questions asked. Just give them a little bit of life. What's not to love about that? Or get rid of something permanently with D-Spark. Instant for 2 mana and Orzhov, exile target permanent mana value 4 or greater. Now, there is a restriction on this one. Obviously, there is. Again, you do have to say, all right, yeah, it's got to be a big permanent, but here's the thing. 4 or greater, yeah, that kind of covers the vast majority of problematic cards out there for the most part, essentially. And when it comes to like the big threats, those are things that you really want to get rid of. And typically, again, when it comes to commanders, a lot of commanders out there do cost that 4 or greater. So it's a way to get rid of those. Though those go back to the command zone, obviously, instead of just exile. But yeah, again, when it comes to those non-commander permanents that are pesky and that are very, very, very impactful, getting rid of them in a permanent way is absolutely crazy. Again, it really takes out the, it takes out the extra kickback from those graveyard-centric decks. They're like, yeah, well, okay, you destroyed it, but reanimate. Oh, and I get the ETB again. Yeah, being able to just remove something permanently from the game that is a problem can be huge with this. That being said, a card with no restrictions, but with a price to pay. Beast Within, instant for 3 mana and green. Destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 green beast creature token. Yeah, a great card with this one. One that essentially goes, hey, you know what we're going to be doing? Well, we're going to be getting rid of basically anything and saying, hey, have a creature instead. Giving someone a creature instead, again, a 3/3 is not a big deal. In Commander, again, in a one-on-one format, that might be a bigger deal. It's like, oh yeah, that 3/3 can really cause some chaos. In Commander, it's like, I'm a 3/3, and then you see these giant, massive other creatures like, hi, I've been here for ages, I'm a 10/10. And yeah, it doesn't really make that big of an impact. That being said, obviously, if you're in a pinch and you need a creature, you can actually destroy one of your own things, which can be quite nice. That being said, yeah, again, be able to destroy any permanent at all for 3 mana. Again, even a land. Yes. Oh, no. Yes, destroying lands. Well, there are scenarios, obviously. Mass land destruction is very frowned upon. Individual land destruction can be useful, especially when an opponent has like a Gaia's Cradle in play. It's like, oh yeah, you know what, I'll give you a 3/3 instead of you being able to produce like 20 mana with that land. Okay, here you go. Such a solid card. Pick it up. Next up, Chaos Warp. Yeah, being able to essentially just go, you know what, we're going to be doing something random because it's red. Instant for 3 mana. They don't have target permanent, shuffles into the library and reveals the top card of their library. It's a permanent card they put on the battlefield. Now, here's the thing. Are there hilarious scenarios where this really backfires and it's like, okay, get rid of that really problematic card. Okay, it's gone. And they get something better and you're like, oh no. Or like the most funny thing is literally it was like, okay, get rid of that problematic card. They reveal the problematic card and put it right back into play and you're like, oh, that's unfortunate. The vast majority of the time, you do, again, get a benefit off of utilizing this card by removing something incredibly problematic, and they either get something back lesser, like, you know, a land, or they get back, you know, nothing. They're like, oh yeah, it's actually not a permanent. Okay, it's like an instant. Okay, it's in my hand. I mean, it's not there, you know, I don't know, like whatever. It is such a good card for removing basically, again, anything at instant speed. Typically, permanently removing it too, because again, it's not technically exiled, but yeah, it's in the library, and chances are they're not going to be getting back to it throughout the rest of the game unless they've got a bunch of tutors to get back to that card. It is a card that can be very good. Is it risky? Yes. Is it fun? Absolutely. Is it effective? Most definitely. Next up, just a very solid card selection spell, Frantic Search, I Love You. Instant for 3 mana in blue. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards, untap to 3 lands. Here's the thing with this one. This is either a free spell to play, basically, again. It literally costs essentially nothing. You pay 3 mana. You do the thing, again, draw 2, discard 2. You are basically just going, okay, yeah, double loot. And then you untap your 3 lands. You get your mana right back. With this, you can actually, again, change up the mana that you utilize. Okay, like, oh yeah, you know what? Actually, I've got another spell I want to cast right now, but I tapped my mana wrong earlier. Okay, I can untap those other ones. Or if you've got lands that can tap for more than one, I mean, maybe you've got like, you know, a mana reflection play or something like that, or just like you've got bounce lands that can tap for extra, or you've got enchanted lands like a fertile ground on something, you get extra mana from this. You actually gain mana from this, which is absolutely amazing. It is such a solid card that, again, is basically a free play and a way to dig down into your deck, and also one that can take advantage of, again, double draws as well. Like, you know, thought reflection type cards, it's just insight type cards. It has so many different applications, and spells in your decks love it too. Like, again, it's like, oh yeah, it's a free, you know, spell basically. I just played up the storm count. Cool, good for me. Such a solid card. Pick it up. Next up, one that I absolutely love because it always just puts opponents into a situation where they're like, I don't know if I'm making the right choice. Fact or Fiction, instant for 4 mana in blue. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. Opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. 1 pile in your hand, the other in your graveyard. Yeah, this is a very solid card. Again, basically digging down 5 cards for 4 mana. An opponent has to separate those cards into piles. They have to be the one to make the decision. And again, they don't have the full information of your situation. They have the full information of, again, the cards in your hand, the cards in your deck, and being able to know, okay, what's the most optimal way to split these up? So they are going to make mistakes. And when they do, well, you're going to pick the most optimized play anyway out of this to pick the best kind of cards that you're going to be getting. But of course, they might not even realize sometimes that it doesn't matter which one they pick because you actually have a graveyard-centric deck too, and you can take advantage of the cards in the graveyard as well. So it is such a good card, such a solid card, a great form of card advantage. Again, instant speed. It is such a solid, budget-friendly card and has been for a long time. Pick it up. Next up, one creature that I want to highlight that might surprise you, but I absolutely am in love with, and I think that it is just absolutely solid card. Selfless Spirit, a 2/1 Flying Spirit Cleric for 2 mana. in white. And back in the day, you know, way back when, you know, in like in the 90s, if you just had a 2/1 flyer for 2 minutes, like, oh, what's the downside? Yeah, no, there's not. Sacrifice this creature control, gain indestructible until end of turn. This is a protected board wipe, basically. This is a board wipe that just sticks in play that says, hey, you know what? I'm here for when you need me, but until then, I can just keep swinging or whatnot, you know? I can just swing at players that don't have any flying blockers, or again, if you've got a flying deck that, you know, has extra, like, anthems in play that can really benefit this, cool, great. That being said, again, it's just a put 2 mana down, utilize it when you need to as a free, get-out-of-jail-free card. It is such a solid card when it comes to protecting your team. And actually, when it comes to protecting your team, too, that kind of goes both ways as well. Yes, when an opponent casts a board wipe, it's like, okay, save my team. It can also be board wipe deterrence just by having this in play because the opponent realizes that you're going to be saving your board while they destroy each other's. Or, essentially, you're like, okay, I cast Wrath of God, but also I sacrifice this to protect my team. Now, all of a sudden, I turned it into a one-sided board wipe. My creatures are fine outside of Selfless Spirit. Thank you for doing, you know, what you did, Selfless Spirit. You're very selfless with that, hence the name. And then my team is free to just swing through and take out my opponents as well. So it's a very flexible card in that. And finally, incredibly effective card in so many decks out there, Forgotten Ancient. A 0/3 elemental for 4 mana in green. When a player casts a spell, you may put a counter on Forgotten Ancient. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may move any number of counters from Forgotten Ancient on other creatures. This is one where it's just like, okay, this is just a solid creature pretty much no matter what. It is going to grow, and if you literally just let it gain up all those counters, it's going to be the biggest creature out there in absolutely no time, because again, any player casting a spell, again with multiplayer being the format that we're playing, essentially, obviously, hypercharges this card. It's going to get so many counters on it, your opponent's heads are going to spin. But then you're like, okay, you know what? Instead of this just, you know, keeping all the counters to itself, let's share the love, okay? Hey, all these counters over here, all these counters over there. If you have any kind of proliferate effects, cool, just spread those counters out, and all of a sudden you can get more counters on everything. If you've got a counter strategy, you probably have even ways to maybe double up those counters. You got ways to benefit from counters being placed on things. You've got ways to benefit from your commander being absolutely massive and just hitting your opponents and taking them out. It is such a good card. Again, solid, it can be the biggest threat in the board, or it can just distribute those counters to make all your creatures threats, or one a bigger threat. It is such a good card in Commander because, again, the multiplayer format just hypercharges it. Pick it up. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.